Poole, the home of the Bournemouth Symphony Orchestra, one of the most prestigious orchestras in the UK. The question, is classical music popular or not? We asked 5 members of the BSO, along with some members of a youth orchestra, if they thought classical music really is that popular.
Hi, I'm Maxime Dortelier.
My name's Andy Baker.
I am Lucy Beats.
Hannah Gibson.
Well, my name's Rob Tooley.
But is it really popular? From your Haydn to your Mozart, to the piano guys and Lindsay Sterling, we want to find out if classical music is popular. So, the real question is classical music the new rock and roll?
Hi, I'm Charlotte Frost. I play the cello in a local youth orchestra. At the moment in our local youth orchestra, we are working towards a concerto concert. This concerto happens to be the concerto that I am taking part in. Classical music has become more popular over the last decade for a number of reasons, mainly due to film music, television, and in some cases even modern pop music. By the end of this exclusive look into the life of classical musicians and their honest opinions about classical music, we want you to understand just how cool classical music and the instruments can be. There have been a few schemes to encourage younger people to engage with classical music. For example, the Bournemouth Symphony Orchestra has set up a Kids for a Quid, which gets under 18s into their concerts for only £1.
Do you think that classical music is becoming more popular with younger people?
Do you know, I think it is getting more popular. I think it's because with the way a lot of popular music is recorded these days, you hear a lot of backing tracks which are orchestras and which are string sections. And one frequently goes in and meets primary school children, and they suddenly aware that the sound that they hear on a record, their popular favourite record, is perhaps made by an instrument, a stringed instrument, and that sort of carries on now. It's beginning to grow.
I think that the opportunity for younger people to come to concerts is much easier.
I think people are more engaged with it these days in their everyday lives, and I think there's a massive push to increase education in classical music, which possibly wasn't around 10-20 years ago. And I think that we're really pushing to get young people into it, to increase their engagement with it, so that they have it from an early age and it's just part of their everyday life.
Over the last few years, comedians have been incorporating orchestras into their performances. For example, on his last tour, Tim Minchin used a full symphony orchestra in his piece Rock and Roll No.
Tim Minchin has toured the UK, hosted the BBC Comedy Proms in 2011, and has also become widely recognised for his interesting take on comedy.
While his mates go out late, popping pills and having fun, he stays home and showers.
So far, we've heard from the professional musicians about their opinion on the popularity of classical music. After the break, we're going to hear from a professor at the Royal Academy of Music about what he thinks is the future of classical music.